Welcome to graveyarddance.com. If you're a regular here, you know we bring you the creepiest stories we can find each and every week. This week, we have a very disturbing case of life imitating art. When someone who is mentally disturbed finds a hero in a fictional on-screen horror icon, nothing good can come of it. Mark Branch was a very disturbed young man from Greenfield, Massachusetts who gained infamy as the Friday the 13th Copycat Killer in 1988. His story is a chilling mix of psychological instability, obsession with slasher films, and a brutal murder that shocked the local community and the rest of the world alike. Mark was born in 1967 and grew up in the small, quiet town of Greenfield. Friends and neighbors described him as a shy and introverted boy who often kept to himself. As he grew older, Mark developed an intense fascination with horror movies, particularly the Friday the 13th series. The films, centered around the murderous exploits of Jason Voorhees, featured graphic violence and gore, which seemed to captivate Branch in a disturbing way. By the time he was in his late teens, Mark's obsession with slasher films had become more apparent. He began collecting horror memorabilia and often dressed in a manner that resembled Jason Voorhees. He would wear a hockey mask and carry a machete, mimicking the iconic image of the fictional killer. Friends and acquaintances found his behavior odd but didn't see it as a serious cause for concern. Mark's obsession with Jason went beyond casual fandom. He reportedly studied the character's movements and mannerisms, attempting to perfect his portrayal. He also kept a journal filled with dark and violent fantasies, many of which mirrored the gruesome killings depicted in the Friday the 13th films. His behavior became increasingly erratic, and he developed a reputation for being unstable. He would sometimes scare local children by appearing in his hockey mask or by talking about his morbid fascination with murder. Despite these warning signs, Mark remained under the radar of law enforcement and mental health professionals. On October 24, 1988, Mark Branch's obsession took a horrifying turn. Sharon Gregory, a 19-year-old psychology student at Greenfield Community College, was found brutally murdered in her home. Sharon had been studying criminal psychology and reportedly expressed an interest in profiling violent offenders. It is believed that her interest in criminal psychology brought her to Mark's attention. Sharon's body was discovered by her twin sister, who immediately contacted the police. The crime scene was horrifying. Sharon had been stabbed multiple times, and the level of brutality suggested that the killer had acted with rage and premeditation. Investigators noted that the murder bore an eerie resemblance to scenes from the Friday the 13th films. Witnesses reported seeing a man wearing a hockey mask near Sharon's home on the day of the murder. Police quickly identified Mark Branch as the primary suspect, as his behavior and obsession with Jason Voorhees fit the profile of the killer. After Sharon's murder, Mark Branch disappeared. His car was found abandoned in a wooded area near the town, sparking a massive manhunt. Authorities combed through the dense forests, believing that Mark might be hiding out or planning another attack. As the search continued, more details about Mark's life and mental state emerged. Friends and acquaintances came forward with stories of his fascination with violence and his unsettling behavior. His journal was discovered, filled with graphic descriptions of murders and drawings that mirrored scenes from all of his collection of horror films. Despite the intense search efforts, Mark Branch remained elusive. The wooded area around Greenfield was vast, and many believed that he might have succumbed to the elements or taken his own life. Others feared he was biding his time and planning another violent act. The murder of Sharon Gregory and the subsequent disappearance of Mark Branch left Greenfield in a state of fear. Halloween was cancelled that year, as parents kept their children indoors and townspeople remained on edge. The case drew national attention, with media outlets dubbing Mark Branch a Friday the 13th Copycat Killer. The following month, on November the 28th, deer hunters found his body hanging from a tree in a wooded area nearby, or at least that's the way the story goes. Many have heard rumors of a vigilante group getting together to place him in that noose to put an end to his insanity, kind of like they did in the movie A Nightmare on Elm Street, which featured another horror icon, Freddy Krueger. Whether or not he killed himself or had help, it's at least comforting to know that unlike most horror movie monsters, Mark won't be coming back to mess with anyone else ever again. We hope you enjoyed this week's story. If you have a new story idea, we'd love to hear about them in the comments section below. Till next time, thanks for watching.